Sir, I want to just mention some names and you tell me what you think about them and what is their major claim that you reject, you oppose. Okay, just tell me your opinion about these names. Right, but I'm really open. I welcome these guys. They can be on my broadcast anytime they want. So, Huberman, I forgot his first name.
Andrew.
Oh yeah, Andrew Huberman. Yes.
Mm.
So let's talk about this guy.
Well, I like to talk about him a lot because people like him a lot, and a lot of people listen to him. So a lot of people want to know, they think I like Andrew Huberman. So like, what's wrong with what he says? And so I help people to learn about that. So that's why I focus on him because a lot of people like him. Yeah, well, a lot. He says a lot of stuff that's wrong. Like, let's talk about salt. So recently, he's an affiliate for Element. Element is a company that sells these electrolyte powders that you then put in drinks to replenish your
Oh, I
electrolytes.
didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. So every affiliate for Element gets 15% commission on each sale through that affiliate link. I know I have friends who are affiliates with Element. I actually know some of the founders of that company. But yeah, so if somebody clicks on your link after you promote Element on your website or your podcast, you get 15% of the sale. 50% that goes to you, the money. So he has these episodes on his podcast where he tells people that eating more salt is good. Eating a lot more salt is good. The recommendations on salt are bad. They're wrong. And then he cites some authors like Gary Taubes and this guy named James DiNicolantonio to suggest that. And again, actually, it's the same problem as with Rhonda Patrick. So with salt, higher salt intakes are associated with lower mortality. They're associated with better outcomes. And then lower salt intakes actually can be associated with worse outcomes. But it's the same problem. It's like just because people observationally have higher salt intakes doesn't mean that it's the salt intake that's causing the better outcomes. It could be that those people are simply in better health. They're eating more richly, they're living their lives, so they have higher salt intakes, and so they're going to have better outcomes. So whenever you actually look at, again, the interventional evidence of people given, say, so there's multiple different studies now where they give people salt that instead of having 100% sodium chloride, it has 75% sodium chloride and 25% potassium chloride. And then when you use that instead of normal salt, they see that over time, these people actually have a lower rate of cardiovascular disease, a lower rate of stroke, a lower rate of heart attack, and a lower rate of death over a long period of time. And that's because higher sodium intakes tend to increase blood pressure. And so higher potassium intakes tend to reduce blood pressure. So if you replace some of that sodium with potassium, then you're going to get lower blood pressures. And if you get that very consistently over a long period of time, then you have less stress in your arteries and you have less cardiovascular disease. So we know with these with the interventional studies where we actually give people less salt, we give people potassium instead of sodium, we know for sure that their outcomes are better. So you can't take the observational studies, the observational literature, and draw your recommendations from that. You need to draw your recommendations from what actually happens when you change people's behavior directly. And that's one place that Huberman is wrong, he's mistaken, and it's harmful, actually, in Huberman's case. With vitamin D, it's actually kind of innocuous. It's not necessarily all that bad. There are some negative effects, but with salt, there actually are negative effects. And I don't like Huberman's messaging because I think he's actually dangerous in this respect.